Welcome to the start of my second season in charge of Hearts. I must say I've really enjoyed pre-season. I've not had to worry about trying to rush out the next episode because I stockpiled a few videos and I was able to focus a lot of time on pre-season. And when I do that, I thoroughly enjoy the process of pre-season. It's one of my favourite times of year on Football Manager. But with YouTube, I kind of feel like, oh no, there's a couple months now I have to get through to get to the next episode. And that's always been a little bit of a problem if I haven't recorded in advance. But I got 3 or 4 episodes out the way before focusing on pre-season, and the team is quite different. I'm sticking with this tactic. As you can see here, I have made a couple of alterations. Pre-season has gone well. There's been a few friendly defeats in there, but I've had to focus on the Euro Cup, and we have managed to get through to the third qualifying round. That was the minimum expectations from my board, so I've achieved that. That's a big tick. But now we have Rubin, and they're a strong team. They're a strong Russian outfit. I don't know how we're going to get on against them. We will find out. Today's episode, I'm going to play the first leg, and then the next episode, we're going to play our first league game and the second leg of the third qualifying round. I want to do it that way rather than having a treble live com today, because this video is going to be quite long anyway, with me talking about transfers and everything that's happened in pre-season. First of all, though, I just want to talk about the 2018 World Cup. It was won by France on penalties against Denmark. You might be surprised to see Denmark in the final, but if you've watched my recent experiment where I simulated the World Cup, Denmark are quite a strong team. They do quite well. But France, no surprises there, they did win the World Cup. However, in this strange alternative reality, I didn't use my real World Cup database, by the way. I started this save before that, and Scotland actually managed to make it to the World Cup. They did get knocked out, though, in the group stage. They managed to beat Senegal 1-0, but Belgium and Uruguay were too much for them. I don't think we had any Scottish players in the team, annoyingly. Yeah, there's no Hearts players in here, which I think is a shame. I mean, John Souttar's really come on leaps and bounds. He's got 1 cap for Scotland at the age. He's 21 years old now. I really like the look of his attributes. He's a good all-round defender. He's obviously a ball-playing defender in our system. I have switched the tactics a little bit. We've gone with 2 ball-playing defenders and then Christophe Berra as a covering defensive centre-back in the middle. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know much about defending or defensive tactics, to be honest. It's all about attacking for me. But you're wondering who I've signed. You've seen a few names here, but you've also probably seen a few faces leave. In fact, I don't think we actually signed any of the players we had on loan last year. Let me just find the bloody transfers. There's transfers. We were given a fair amount of money. I think it was about £5.5 million, which I was really surprised by. Might be because we qualified for Europe and also the fact that I didn't spend anything last year. However, I did increase the wage budget, so we haven't spent £5 million. We've spent £2.5 million, and we've got a new record signing, which I think is actually my most regrettable signing, I must say. I'm not sure. I was panicking. I wanted a left-footed ball-playing defender, and I had a look, and the best I could find that would sign for me was Joel Lynch, who was signed from QPR. He's got 3 caps for Wales. He's 30 years old. I guess he's in his prime. Unfortunately, he's picked up a really serious injury. Played a couple of Euro Cup games and then got injured. So he's out for 6 weeks to 2 months. That is a real shame. And for him to be the record signing, he's also on 10k a week, which is crazy high. Like Lafferty's on 3.5. I'm slightly regretting this transfer, I'll be honest. But you make mistakes. You live and learn. He might come into the team and be an amazing defender for us. Who knows? But the first signing was actually another injury-prone player. I'm signing. We've already got an injury-prone squad, and now I'm signing injury-prone players. I'm an idiot. But Jay Spearing's come in. I really wanted a ball in the midfield. Adal's gone back. The Edinburgh Kante has left Edinburgh. He's no longer the Edinburgh Kante. I couldn't sign him. They wanted a bit too much money for him. So he has left. But Jay Spearing came in for 120k from Blackpool, who signed him for a free last year. I thought his attributes suited our system as ball-winning midfielder, but he picked up a bad injury, out for 3 to 4 months. He's got 2 months left, 4 weeks to 2 months left. But I think he's a pretty injury-prone player. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have signed him either. The other player to come in from Motherwell was the second top goal scorer in the league last year, and I thought he fitted our system perfectly as a target man. He's a good secondary option to Lafferty, maybe alternate between the two depending on who's in form basically. He's only 26 years old, so he's not ancient. He's got a good few years ahead of him, and like I said, he fits our system. However, he picked up an injury too. He's got 2 to 4 weeks left. What is going on? All my new signings getting injured. It's the Hearts way, it seems. So many injuries. It's very frustrating. Now, Naismith has gone back to Norwich. They wanted £6 million for him, and at the age he is, no. And also, he missed 2 glorious chances in the Scottish Cup final. He may have been our top goal scorer last year, but I'm afraid, well, to be honest, I couldn't afford him, so it wasn't even a question of choosing whether I wanted him or not. I've brought in Ben Reeves as his replacement. He's got 2 caps for Northern Ireland at the age of 26. He's come in from Charlton, who signed him last season from MK Dons. Whether he's good enough for the Scottish Premiership, we shall find out. And he scored 1 goal last year, but he's a shadow striker, and I feel like he fits our system well, and that's what I've done. I've signed players to fit our system. I kind of need another option in that position, though. I've only got Ben Reeves, which is a bit of a problem. Next in was Lee Brown, our new left back. Mitchell wanted too much money. I don't know if anyone signed him yet. He's still a free agent, but he wants too much money. That's the problem. Oh, no, the most we can afford now is 6.5k. He just wants too much. That's the problem. I mean, if he's still available in January or perhaps right at the end of the transfer window, then I might sign him. But I have already signed 2 left wing backs. Lee Brown has had a really good pre-season. He's got 4 assists in 4 Euro Cup games. He was insane down the left wing back position. He's come in from Bristol Rovers. Had a decent season last year, played the majority of games. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can cut it in the Scottish Premiership. I think he can. A ball-playing defender, Marcelo Jallo, Spaniard, 24 years old, has come in. He's come from Fulham. They signed him for 725k last year, but didn't play him at all. Well, they played him in the Cup twice, but they've sold him to me for £155,000. I don't know if he fell out of the manager or there was a manager change or something, but that is a massive loss for them. I've basically got 3 ball-playing defenders. We've got Suter, we've got Lynch, and we've got Jallo. So those guys will alternate. Obviously, Lynch is injured at the moment. Next up is a loan signing. Polish international. At the age of 20, he's already got 7 caps for his country. Bielik. Defensive midfielder or centre-back. He prefers to play centre-back, but I'm actually going to be playing him as the ball-winning midfielder because Jay Spearing is injured. And he's done alright, actually. Done okay in pre-season. Euro Cup, he managed to get an assist. Played at the World Cup for Poland, but didn't do very well, as you can see there. But I think he's a good signing. He's versatile. So he's an option at centre-back or an option in defensive midfield, which is always useful. And the last player is also a loan signing, Brandon Mason. He's the backup for Lee Brown. So he's basically Nerfville from last year. He potentially could be our first choice wing back. I don't know. We'll have to see how he gets on. Lee Brown is first choice at the moment. It's Brandon Mason's place to win. We'll see how he gets on. So players going out of the team. I did get rid of Salmon on a free. Victor Norring went on a free as well. Ewan Henderson's gone out on loan to Hamilton. So he's going to be playing in the Scottish Premiership. I want to see how he gets on scoring goals. He's already got 2 goals in the Betfred Cup, which is pleasing to see. I didn't think he would be a starting player. It was never going to be a starting player for us. And back up, he needs first team football, I think, to improve. So I've got rid of him. This youngster's gone out on loan as well. Anyone else you may have seen in the first season, they've basically gone. Loan players, they've all gone. So the team is quite different, as you can see here. I do actually want to put Henderson just into the under-20s as he's on loan. There's no point having a look at him, really. And it means I can fit the whole squad on one screen. So despite finishing 3rd last year and Aberdeen finishing in the bottom half, they are still the favourites to finish 3rd this season. We're 40-1 to win the league. I believe we can finish 3rd again. I see no reason not to. I mean, we've lost Naismith, I know, but I feel like my team's still strong. Somehow Celtic have still held on to Dembele for the time being. They've still got Kieran Tierney as well, so Celtic looking incredibly strong. Mark Hughes, though, is now in charge. Brendan Rodgers has moved to Southampton, and Mark Hughes, who's the real-life manager of Southampton, is in charge of Celtic, which is quite strange. They've spent £3.4 million, so they've spent more money than me, but we've spent a fair amount, £2.5 million, not bad. I'm still looking for improvements to the team, I guess. Callaghan's had a bit of interest from other players. He's rejected a couple contracts. I might keep hold of him just as a ball-winning midfielder option. I think strength and depth-wise, we're fine at the back. I mean, why is this tactic on? I want to jam tarts. There we go. Defensively, I think we're fine. We've got two decent goalkeepers in McLaughlin and Hamilton. Right wing back, we're definitely fine. I mean, I play Amankwa, but we've also got a couple players that have come back that were out on loan. So first of all, Liam Smith is a right wing back. He was on loan last year at St Mirren, so he's like a new signing for me. And he looks like a decent right back. He's only 22 years old. The other player we have, who won't appear on here because he doesn't fit into the system, is Lewis Moore, who's a left midfielder, only 20 years old. He was out on loan at Ayr last year and had a good season, 7 goals, 7 assists, helping them get promoted from League One. And I'm trying to convert him into being a left wing back. He's already got an orange, awkward circle. He didn't have anything before because I feel like he can fit that system well. He's got decent pace, good tackling, good dribbling, okay, average crossing, but I feel like he can play left wing back. So I'm trying to convert him into a left wing back. He's still only 20 years old. Don't know whether we're developing to being a good enough player generally, but we'll see if he can fit into that position. Another player you may have noticed in the first team that wasn't in the first team last year, Nikolai Todorov. Is this the son of Todorov, the striker that played for West Ham and Portsmouth? Maybe. He can apparently play centre-back and striker, and he's a target man. So once again, fits our system perfectly. We've got 4 target men. Lafferty's first choice. We've of course signed Ryan Bowman. We've got Rory Curry, who's come back from injury, and we've got Todorov. So there's plenty of players. In fact, I think there's someone else. There's Ali Roy as well, 21 years old. He's a defensive forward rather than a target man, actually. But he's fast. I didn't realise how fast this guy was. He's still in the under-20s. I've kept him in there. Mainly because his finishing is only 10 and 9 composure. But I guess that's what he is. He's a defensive forward. Is there a different position we could utilise him in? Could he be converted into something else? I think he could be a decent winger because he's got good crossing, but dribbling's very low. I don't know. He's an odd sort of player. Not really sure where he would fit. And we've also got Aidan Keener, a young striker. Now, he's got some decent poaching attributes or advanced forward attributes. So there's plenty of players we have. Lots of youngsters, plenty of decent regens that came through the system as well. So I'm happy with the team. I'm just going to have a look at the comparison thing. I always like to look at this before the start of a new season. We've got the best teamwork in the league, which is pleasing. Goalkeeper-wise, we've got the best handling in the league, which is a bit of a surprise. We're actually only below average on one thing, which is agility. Defensive-wise, terrible positioning. The lowest positioning in the league. Heading's also very low. But marking, pace, acceleration, decent tackling, good. Midfield, we've got the best stamina and teamwork. Very good tackling, second best tackling. And attack-wise, best jumping. And also the second best heading because of our target men, of course. Physically, natural fitness-wise, we're very strong, so we should be running for days. Although we just get so many injuries, it's annoying. Teamwork, very high, as I've said before, and technically we're the strongest markers in that whole league if you look at all positions, which is quite random. Every year I look at the dynamics. Only once though. I always forget to look at it because it's just one of those things that's there that you just don't really need to use. But as you can see, team leaders, Berra's still the captain with Lafferty and Zoom being very influential as well. We've got highly influential players in Cowie, Prince, Suter, McLaughlin and Amankwa. Social groups, we've got a couple players trying to fit in. Brandon Mason from Watford and Jallo, the Spaniard, who's probably going to struggle to fit in. We don't have any other Spanish players, do we? Don't think so. But hopefully they can integrate over time. So before we get on with this away fixture against Rubin, I'll just quickly scroll down our pre-season games. Started off with a 0-0 draw. Beat our affiliate 2-1 thanks to goals from Curry and a late penalty from player who was out on loan last year, Lewis Moore. We then beat Kamsa 3-1. Where's Kamsa from? I didn't actually check. They're from Albania. And we managed to get a win in the first leg thanks to 2 goals from our captain Berra, and Lafferty scored as well. We were thrashed by Man City. Well, not thrashed, 3-0, and I put out a weaker team, so we didn't do too badly in that. We then beat Kamsa 2-0 in the second leg thanks to goals from Lafferty and Curry. 0-0 draw, 2-0 loss against Doncaster. I wasn't really focusing on the friendlies. I was just putting out teams. I was trying to get the match fitness up, I suppose. This was a really good win because I think Dynamo Minsk are a decent team from Belarus. They do have only national reputation, and maybe they're all greyed out players, which is maybe why we're able to do well. But I feel like they've got a decent team. Lafferty put us 1-0 up in the 60th minute, and then a 1-1 draw at home was enough to put us through. Berra actually scored another goal, his third of the season. Suter scored an own goal just after having a goal disallowed, which was a bit unfortunate, but we were able to scrape through. We did lose our last pre-season game of the season, 2-1. Lafferty did get a consolation goal against the German outfit. So we head into this Ruben game. I'm positive. I'm still not 100% sure about the tactic. I don't know whether I should be playing a Mankwa or I should be playing a proper wing-back like Liam Smith there. But time will tell. I want Amankwa to be in this team because he's a very good player. They are the favourites for this. I said they're a tough team. But, it would be an absolute dream to get through to the knockout stages. Of course, we have to get through this third qualifying round and then a fourth qualifying round. It is a real slog for Scottish teams now because of the Scottish League reputation. But, fingers crossed, we can get some sort of result away from home. If we can get a goal, that puts us in a good position, I think. We've got a strong looking team out there. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. Their striker, Azmoun, an Iranian international, is pretty prolific for them. Looks dangerous. Let's get on with this then. Look at that stadium. Quite a few empty seats, but I suppose it's, pre-season, isn't it, basically? Why is this so slow? We want it on slightly faster. There we go. I do like the colour, actually, of Ruben. That's a nice sort of maroony colour. Bielik in defensive midfield. We're playing Jallo at the back alongside Suter and Berra. Here's Amankwa down the right hand side. Cochrane, Harry Cochrane. Not forgotten about him. Here's Lafferty. Let's wait for this chance. Oh, we're 1-0 up. That's an away goal. That could be a crucial away goal. Lovely start to this game. But yeah, Harry Cochrane, I'm focusing on him. He really is improving. His attributes are going up. And I want him to be the main man in midfield this year. Prince is a great player. He scored 6 goals last year, but we need to focus on Harry Cochrane if we want to get the best out of him. What a start. Ben Reeves with the assist as well, which is nice to see. Second highlight of the game. Here come Ruben in possession, looking quite dangerous. They've got a player that's injured, but they've kept him on. Crossed in. McLaughlin had that covered easily. There's so many empty seats for this early qualifying round of the Champions League, Europa League. I wish it was the Champions League. Here's Carl Lafferty. Lafferty out wide to Brown, who's been exceptional so far for me. Here's Reeves. Reeves, that was a chance. See, Brown with another really good deep cross. And Reeves couldn't take advantage of it, unfortunately. But Cochrane with the corner, crosses it in, headed away. Here's Bielik. That's the end of that highlight. Another highlight. Plenty of highlights in this first half. Ruben seemed to be able to keep possession quite well. It's crossed in, and that's 1-1. Headed down by Azmoun, and then Petrole found the back of the net. But we've got an away goal. That is important. Half time, we've had 9 shots to their 8, slightly more possession. I'm pretty pleased with them, really. Let's just get on with the second half. I don't think I need to change anything. I've got it on defensive. I think I've shown you the instructions. These are the instructions now. So it's defensive. We've got higher tempo to try and hit teams on the break. Corner to Ruben, headed away by Lafferty quite easily, but they're still in possession here. Although that's blocked. Lafferty now. Oh, he almost won it. His slow legs couldn't quite win that ball properly, could they? And now this looks dangerous. Petrolate's crossed in. Oh, off the bar. Headed away by Jallo. Get rid of it, guys. Get rid of it. Sergio Sanchez, good tackle. Lafferty's really tired. That is the problem with him. He just gets really knackered. So I'm going to bring on Rory Curry. Ben Reeves is tired as well, but I think we'll have to leave him on. Oh, the first time Lee Brown hasn't had a good game. I'm going to throw on Brendan Mason because Lee Brown's on a yellow. That's a sensible thing to do. 20 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. Okay. This is nice. I'm happy with a 1-1 draw. But I've got one more sub to make. And I'm going to take off... Oh, Ben Reeves has played well, apparently, despite that miss. Bielik, Amankwa. I'm going to bring Amankwa off. Bring on Liam Smith, a more regular wing-back. It's been a boring second half. And it's going to finish 1-1 here. 10 seconds to go until the final whistle. I will take this. At home, we can get a 0-0 draw and go through. brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They did have more shots, they had more opportunities overall, but we could have won it if Ben Reeves had stuck away that chance in the first half. And that's made the players look extremely delighted. That's pleasing. The adventure continues. We're not completely out. We're in the more positive position, I think. 1-1 draw away from home. Really good stuff. So next episode, we're going to take on St Johnstone in our first league match of the season. And then we've got Rubin a few days after. So, I mean, we need a relatively big squad if we're going to be playing in Europe. So I think we've got it covered. We've got plenty of players in here. We've got plenty of strikers. I'm slightly worried about shadow striker. If Ben Reeves gets injured, we're going to have to rely on Prince or Zoom or Carey, one of those players, to come in and play out of position. Or Martin again. I've hung on to Martin because he's just a bit versatile. He's not particularly good, but he can kind of play in a few different midfield positions. Financially, the club's in a very good position because of getting into Europe. You can see here prize money and TV money, etc. have gone up recently. The board are happy with me. I've only got 1 year left on my contract though, so hopefully they'll give me a new contract very soon. But I think we'll end it there for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you haven't done so already. Until next time, enjoy FM18. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.